All right, so PUBG's 7th anniversary incoming on March 23rd. And here we have the Dev Talk 2024 roadmap, where you've probably seen online on the news already. PUBG has announced that they are migrating the game over to Unreal Engine 5, which is basically the PUBG 2.0 that we in the community have been asking for so long now. And kind of crazy to hear this news, almost kind of stunning. I didn't know what to think at first hearing it. I mean, we've kind of been expecting, because they hinted that they were trying it, but them announcing it was huge, and all this stuff in this video is huge. But I will admit to you guys that I feel a lot differently about PUBG now. Times have changed. We're 7 years in. I love the game. I love Battlegrounds, but unfortunately, I've been a little burnt out over the past few months. So I'm conflicted in making this video and talking about everything, because I just don't know what to think about the future that is held within PUBG. But I will say that Unreal 5 is the key to PUBG's future success, and kind of holds the key to fixing all of PUBG's problems. In theory, all the problems I think can be fixed with Unreal 5. At least it seems like they can be, from what I've learned over the years from PUBG. But again, it's easier on paper, and putting pen to paper and putting this to fruition is going to be a lot more difficult. So in this video, I'm here to explain a little bit of that, and also give context to that, and break down this video, because this 2024 overview is 24 minutes long, and it's only in Korean. So if you're an English speaker like myself, you'd have to read all the subtitles here, which I'm going to say right now, if you're a hardcore fan of PUBG, I would recommend blocking out 25 minutes and reading this, because it gives you a ton of context. PUBG did put an overview on the website, but again, the video just provides so much more information. I feel like it's honestly worth it to read it. But if you're more into listening and want to hear what I have to say, then stick around for this video, because we're going to get into it. I do have some bullet points that I want to go over here about what I found to be the most important. This is not every detail in the video, but what I find to be the most important. First, we have Destructible environment coming into the game, which is absolutely insane. Here's an image of that right there. We have gun balance changes coming in, and PUBG doing more gun balancing throughout the year. Potential zip lines coming into the game, different from the zip lines that are already in the game, to help you get into buildings. More brand collabs, car brand collabs. Focus on MMR and skill-based matchmaking. Regional map rotation. Advancing the bots in the game. No more test server this year for 2024. Improving ranked and RP. Modding on PC. Clan improvements, Unreal 5 migration, and anti-cheat. So those are the major topics that I came across in this video. We can take anti-cheat off the board. Cheating is such a big part of gaming, and if there's too much cheating, I believe the game will die. It has no credibility. But unfortunately, to me, cheating is just such a thing that's talked about every day that it's just, to me, it's like an obvious thing. It doesn't need to be mentioned in this kind of video, so I'm going to skip it. And I feel like it's probably most important to talk about the migration of Unreal 5 first and foremost, and then we'll follow it up with this Destructible environment. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So before we get into this, I just want to say that, what's up, everybody? My name is Ray. I go by Blitz5 on the Battlegrounds, and I've been playing PUBG for many, many years, since the game basically came out on console, and I've been partnered with PUBG for several years now. I've been making content and kind of reporting about the game via YouTube and on social media for many years now. I've had the privilege to talk to dozens of employees over the years, from community managers to developers to the head of PUBG America to the creative director, Dave Curd, and ask them questions. So I feel like this makes me a really qualified person that doesn't work at PUBG to talk about the game and its updates. I feel like I know I'm up there with all the people outside of the game that have worked on the game that know about the game, because I've been following it so closely for years and years and years. I mean, you got Wacky Jackie, C-Dome, and a few other people that I know have been following the game just as closely as me for years, that have similar information. So I feel like that makes me qualified to talk about this, but I will admit, of course, well, first of all, not even admitting, obviously I don't know everything. B, I get things wrong. C, I will sometimes make assumptions here, and I'll try to let you guys know if I'm ever making an assumption, if it's not coming from a fact. And then lastly, that over the past year or two, PUBG has become more corporate. They let go the community team and some of the people that I contacted with on a daily or weekly basis, and they're more closed off now. You might remember, if you're a big fan of PUBG, in the past, they would have these videos would be put out by people from the American team and from all over the world. PUBG used to have the American team would make one map or a feature, and then the Korean team would make a different map and a different feature. And they would kind of go back and forth. But again, lately, all of these events, dev talks, all that stuff has been from Korea, the headquarters, and which is cool. It streamlines everything, but that has given me way less information and way less access. And also because of my conflict with being a little burnt out on the game, I haven't been following the game as closely lately, but I do believe that I still, hold a lot of, previous information, background of PUBG, the issues, why things are the way they are, et cetera, et cetera. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into the migration. So here, we want to click into the video so we at least have the nice background playing. So you have two options when bringing the game to Unreal 5. You can either recreate the entire game, or you can migrate the game over the existing code. Both of those are super problematic, which is why I think PUBG didn't do it to begin with. To recreate the game is kind of insane. It would take so many man hours, so much money, so much time, and you can't guarantee that the game would feel the same or that people would like it, right? It would be a different game if they recoded the game from scratch. So that's risky. And if they bring the game is so, PUBG is famously was created, I've heard, poorly, put it in lack of a better term. So the analogy I always use, and this is a famous business term, and I think I heard someone at PUBG actually use this term one time, is that updating PUBG is kind of like trying to update a plane that's flying and can't land, right? PUBG can't land. The game's out there. It's online. You can play it. And they're trying to fix it midair, which is not very easy. Or you could use the analogy that PUBG is like a building, has a bad foundation, and they just keep building on top of it. 1 story, 2 story, 3 stories. And now they're 50 stories into the building, but the foundation is bad. It's very easy to go in there, very difficult, to go in there and fix the foundation. So that's the issue. And so many people go, why would PUBG migrate the game over? It's broken at its core. It's so many issues. But I've been following the game for years and years and years. PUBG has been working on fixing that foundation for years. That's why they went through and they remastered the maps. They fixed a lot of the problems there. They continually, every couple updates, every year, they're fixing the foundation. They're fixing holes and this issue and that issue. Famously, there's a video on the PUBG YouTube channel when they hired the team or the guy to make PUBG Team Deathmatch, which is amazing. This is before Team Deathmatch was even in the game. He was like, I've made Team Deathmatch in many games. So I came in, I thought I was going to make Team Deathmatch. Turns out the code was so bad and so messed up, I couldn't just add Team Deathmatch into the game, which, as a non-developer like myself, I don't really even understand how that's possible, but you guys can watch the video on the PUBG YouTube channel where he says that. It's really interesting. So PUBG, if you take that analogy, things aren't as simple as they seem. So that's a big issue, right? Are they going to be able to fix those things as they migrate the game over? They've chosen that path. They said while they migrate it, they're going to fix things along the way. But first thing comes to mind, are they going to be able to fix everything? Are they going to be able to fix all of the issues with the terrain, not being able to walk up a step? Are all of these things going to be fixed? So many of these things are nuanced. You're talking about some of the biggest maps and the video game maps are huge, kilometers wide, so much space. Can they fix all these problems that have been in the game for so long? It's hard to imagine they can. And you know that if an issue like that exists, once they eventually do this a year or two or however long from now, someone's trying to get in a building, they can't walk up the game, they're going to literally like punt their controller or their PC into another dimension out of frustration. So that's the negative. But the positive is that this holds the key to, I think I was mentioning this before, to all of their success. Because PUBG needs more room to grow, this will give them more room. People complain about the visuals, they can improve the visuals. People want to have more, stuff in the game. This will bring it all to the game, and this could, have the key to a lot of success, but without saying it, another different way. So the potential is there, but it's just going to be a lot harder, easier said than done for sure. So definitely going to be interested to hear more about this. And obviously, if you see coders and developers talking about it on social media, you can get a little bit more of their opinion, and they have more insight on this. So now with that being said, let's talk about the changes that we can talk about and can kind of do quickly here because we're already 10 minutes in. So we're going to rapid fire through this. So first and foremost, PUBG has Destructible environment. They have the pickaxe here. I was very surprised to see this pickaxe in the game because first, it looks like Fortnite-esque, and B, because when I had asked the creative developer why the Destructible buildings on Karkin aren't on other maps, it didn't seem like they were ever going to bring this to other maps because it took a lot of resources to have the Destructible buildings, and to have an Destructible environment, I imagine, is going to take a lot of resources as well. I think that Destructible environment is an awesome addition within reason. In games that have had Destructible environments in the past, people usually just troll and they'll blow up every building or make a tunnel into the ground and just do these ridiculous strategies that ruin the game. But if it's done tastefully, like PUBG normally does things, I feel like this could be a really, really cool addition to the game. Then at 5:55 into the video, we have potential zip lines coming to the game. They want to, PUBG's been trying to improve camping in the game, being able to rotate different options and ways to get into buildings. This is very Fortnite-esque, in my opinion, and anti kind of boots on the ground. But obviously, PUBG's just testing this stuff. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. I'm a little nervous to see that, but PUBG's got to create new content, and this is what happens when you're 7 years into the game. But it is a little weird. You don't want to get too close to Fortnite because then we're Fortnite, right? And people have been saying that for years now. PUBG talking about bringing in new brand collabs. This looks like they're teasing a Lamborghini. Not really major content and stuff you spend money on, but it is exciting. New progressive weapons coming into the game that aren't just the regular ARs. They kind of tease that they might be doing different weapon types like SMGs and stuff like that. We'll see. Gun balances, which they are going to be balancing the SMGs, which is coming in the next update. But instead of just putting it on the live server, they're going to be putting it on the test server now. So in the arcade. Test server is gone. So now you'll be able to test this right in the arcade mode. PUBG wants to be more nimble with gun balance changes, do more of this into the game. And they're going to be testing all of this again in arcade, which people were freaking out about the SMG changes because they're not what people expected. But again, they're testing them, and this is better than just going live. This is better than what PUBG is doing in the past. So before people complain, make sure you guys understand that it's a test. It's not going to the live server. They're testing them first. And then last thing I want to highlight here are bots. I know the bots are controversial and a lot of people dislike them. And while they can ruin your in-game experience, and they've ruined my experience many times, I think on a whole, they're better for the game. I'll sacrifice individual moments in the game that are frustrating, but that doesn't happen every day or every week, to overall, I think, improve the game for some moments that are sometimes frustrating for veteran players, right? Because you could be hiding from an enemy player and then a bot pops up behind you and is spinning around shooting, and you're like, dude, you just gave away my spot and I lost because of that. That is really frustrating. And honestly, that's a valid concern. But overall, I feel like it saved the game because it allows new players to come in and play. If the game doesn't have enough people playing, the bots come in and fill. They just needed to be improved upon, and they really haven't been for so long. So now PUBG's mentioning that they want to improve them, make them more realistic, maybe have them zigzag, leaning, reviving teammates, and that would be huge. And honestly, we needed that a little while ago. So this is a big list for PUBG, tall order for them, but it looks like they're at least aware and addressing, I think, all of the major things that need to be fixed with PUBG. And if they actually can kind of get through this list, even if it takes a while, to me, this is what people have been asking for. And unfortunately, this video ended up getting a lot longer, but I hope that some of my context helped you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening. And I guess it was better than reading 24 minutes of subtitles. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm Blitz5. Peace out.